Welcome back to CCRPG. We are picking back up just as our pilots arrive at Real Station. This is the place where they are meant to rendezvous with Effoc, who is Ren's contact, working on the Rebirth Project Council. As you guys pull into the dock, it is not quite like AO Station. This is much more of like a way station for shipping and deliveries and things of that nature. This is not like a multi-purpose, residential manufacturing. This is not like a city so much as it is a distribution center. As you dock, you are actually met in the docking station that you pull the DBC into by a single representative who is just like a slightly older woman who is wearing like just a nice pants and like a overcoat. Like I would call it almost like a smock type shirt that has like a little name tag on it. Who is waiting for you as you depart the ship.
All right. I'll introduce myself to her, and I'll say, "Hello, my name is Xander Nova.
Oh my god.
This is my crew, the Murder of Crows."
I step on Eveline's foot a little bit to make sure she doesn't say anything.
I'm holding back the laughter.
This person kind of nods at you.
Hey, Todd.
Are you the former DBC crew?
DBC. Never heard of them.
Does he wink?
My mistress was expecting a crew called the DBC Crew.
Oh, yeah, that's us. But keep it on the down low.
Astro, this is important. Are you wearing the silver book pin?
Oh, yes, I am.
Okay, interesting. She scans you up and down, notices there is the silver book pin on your clothing, and just will nod to you and go, "Okay, in that case, I will take you to Effoc. She's ready to see you now."
Excellent.
You can tell by her name tag, this person's name is Jolene Corner.
All right.
My name is Jolene. I am an aide to Effoc. I do some basic administration here in Real Station. If there's anything you need, let me know. Effoc is very busy. She may not be able to speak with you often, but she did say she had a fair amount to talk to you about. So I'm just going to take you straight there.
Sounds good.
All right, follow me.
Todd, what did you end up deciding for your outfit? Like, I know we talked about it, but we never followed through.
He's wearing all black turtleneck.
Turtleneck, okay.
Fingerless gloves.
I was going to ask, how much does your outfit look like me in high school?
Oh, wow.
Probably a fair bet.
That's a deep cut.
I didn't wear turtlenecks, but
yeah.
Get some black cargo pants, black band t-shirt. You're on your way.
But because of that, I imagine the little silver book pen thing actually really stands out.
All right. You are led through Real Station. It is very quick that you are able to take kind of a lift up out of the hangar that you're in and get to like a main kind of through sector for the station. She takes you down a couple of twists and turns. You see a fair amount of activity happening here. Is there anything you want to talk to Jolene about, or ask about the station before you're brought in to see Effoc?
I would like to work, or I can't talk today. I would like to ask Jolene, how long have you worked for Effoc?
I have been here for about 5 years.
And what did you say your title was again?
I am one of Effoc's aides.
Okay.
I do administration on Real Station for her.
I see. What can you tell me about the station itself? Are there places, any good places to eat, entertainment, lodging?
Yes, I will say there is a fair amount of support structure to support the workers that we have on station. Probably not a resort to your liking, but we do have a fair amount of more inward focus eateries, kind of grab and go food stops. There are a few pizza places on the station. Largely, they're used to just serving to the workers who live here and the occasional, shipping group that's coming through. We do have a couple of bars if that is your want. So there are places to go, but they're not in plentitude here.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'll have to maybe take a look around later on. Do you know if the other crews that will be participating in the contest are en route?
Oh, I'm sorry. You'll have to talk to Effoc about here. That will not be taking place on Real.
Oh, I just meant to whatever to the, I forget the name, E something. Actually, I don't know where the contest proper will be taking place, so I guess I am actually getting ahead of myself. I'll talk to her about that.
Okay. Excellent. Is there anything else accommodations-wise you will need while you're here?
I don't think so. I think we're all set up.
All right. Well, then I will let you in to see Effoc now. If you need anything, I'll be right outside the door.
Well, thank you very much, Jolene.
She nods at you all, and she will open what you have arrived at. Is just a single door.
As we pass her, can I give her the Water Tribe sign? Still trying to be cool.
She just smiles non-committally at you.
I shake my head at both of them, thank her, and then walk in.
Crows.
You guys are let into a room. It is, in comparison to what you're used to with Ren, a much more official looking office. It is still fairly large, but it is not a grand room like you have seen at Ren's place. But there is a large official desk. There is a side couch with a table. There is a table with various spirits on it, and a place to make drinks. There is what appears to be a little safe. There's a few filing cabinets, a very lovely hardwood desk. There are various seats in front of the desk. As you walk in, there is a figure behind the desk who stands up. Behind the desk, you meet
someone who is not Effoc.
An assassin! Oh
no! She is very. She's very slender. To the point where it looks like she is a little brittle. But she's a beanpole a little bit. She's tall but very slender. She's wearing a very tight-fitting, form-fitting suit. It is like pressed, like Astro, as someone who comes from the inner planets. The cut is impeccable. This is something you would expect, like either like a high-paid rep working at Terratella, or like a corporate official who's like on the rise to be wearing. This is like a go-getter's outfit, right?
Yeah.
As you come in, this woman stands up and says, welcome. You must be Ren's friends. I am Effoc Deseria. It is a pleasure to meet you all.
Yep, that's us. Nice to meet you too, Effoc.
Well, I will not stand on ceremony. Please take a seat. Is there anything I can get you? Do any of you want a drink?
Oh, yes, I would love a drink.
What's your order?
A Manhattan.
Absolutely. Just wait a moment and we can chat while I make it. You can watch as she walks over to her little, like, bar table, essentially, and she'll just start making a drink, as she chats with you, kind of over her shoulder. Anyone else?
Oh, no, thank you.
You got any whiskey?
Of course.
Yeah, I'll take a single on the rocks.
Absolutely. And you?
Water.
Of course. So, Ren's had a lot of positive things to say about you.
Oh, well, Ren and ourselves, we go back a little bit. We've helped
They
them
say
out
they
of a
owe you
bind.
their lives.
Well, we helped them out of a bind, and they have helped us in turn.
As all good business.
And recently Ren has brought us a little bit into their confidence more.
I see. Evelene, you are handed your whiskey on the rocks. She's still working on Astro's drink. You are handed a water, Steve. Just in a very nice rocks glass.
She pulls it up. What the fuck is a Manhattan?
Are you asking someone, or
I'm sorry.
No. As she pulls it up, right? Like, because how would she? I don't know. Is a Manhattan that popular of a drink that they know it now?
I just made that canon. Apparently, the Manhattan has persisted into a cosmically known cocktail.
People forget what Manhattan is, like what the original
drink
word
is
is. They just know it
out.
as the drink.
Yeah, the drink has outlived the city.
They think it's just some like made up word. Like, Manhattan must come from some ancient dialect.
She will set the drink down in front of you, Astro, as she walks over with a drink of her own, some sort of brown liquid in a glass with a nice big block of ice in there. Goes, Ren seems to believe that you all are going to be the right people for my job.
I think so. And we have the track record, I believe, to prove it.
Well, that's to be seen. I'm sorry if I'm a little suspicious. Suspicious isn't the right word.
Trepidatious.
That's a good one. I haven't seen you in action before, and what I'm asking is very razor's edge. I'm really going out on a limb here because Ren recommended you.
Well, whatever you throw at us, we can handle it.
Good. I have some information for you then. I am part of Project Rebirth, as I'm sure Ren has given you some of the information of. I have worked my way into various boardrooms, councils, and other projects all across Cygnus State by being just a very reliable operator. And by being in the right rooms, I hear the right things. And by hearing the right things, I get the right information to people who aren't in those rooms. And that means it is very important for me to stay in those rooms. You understand?
I do.
Of course.
Which means if you screw this up, I will disavow you completely.
I would
That's
expect.
fair.
I would expect nothing less.
Fair enough.
In fact,
My mother did that many years ago.
in fact, when we arrive at contest, we will be arriving separately, and we don't know each other there. Understand?
Loud and clear.
Sure. Who are you?
By all appearances, when you arrive, you will be another mercenary group that my company has worked with before. We are to have no personal relations with one another. You are not to call me by any familiar names. In fact, it would be best if you play cautiously away from me. You can rely on the fact that in the final negotiations, I will be on your side, as it serves my own interests. I need you to get one of these contracts, which means you can count on my vote. Your goal will be during the contest to secure the votes of several of the other members of the council. Understood?
Understood.
Seems easy enough.
How many
Would
votes?
you like to take a look at our prepared resume so you know what you're looking at?
Oh, you came prepared. Yes, please.
I'll hand them over. I'll hand them over our resume package.
Okay. This is not bad. She flips through a little bit. It's like, you know, even if I didn't know you, I'd be willing to work with this.
Did Dyne tell us about the other people that we should be endorsing or helping?
Yes.
Okay.
I would have told you. Whether or not you want to tell her is up to you. Dyne's not sure I don't know. It's up to you.
I'll let Dyne take the lead on that. Astro's not going to bring it up.
I don't plan on bringing it up at this meeting specifically.
She
So.
flips the pack of papers closed and hands them back to you. That will be good, but won't place you at the head of the pack. We have some big, prestigious names taking part in contests as well.
Well, a resume is only the way to get in the door.
Yes.
We have to prove ourselves afterwards.
Oh, and that you will need to do with some aplomb. It will not just be a review of your skill, but also you will have to politic a bit as well. My counterparts on the council are a combination of assholes, opportunists, and nepotism hires that I can only assume exist to make people like me furious.
So 90% of the politicians I've ever encountered?
That would probably be correct, yes.
Fantastic.
Can I ask, the terms of the contest have been a little mysterious to me. What exactly will we be doing?
That's a good question. I'm not in charge of that. It might be good to go over kind of what is entailed here, since I can give you a little bit more information ahead of time. I am on the council because I am head of the logistics team for Operation Rebirth. I acquire the materials needed and I get them to where they need to go, which is why I realize there's something wrong going on. That's what I need your help with. But I can only hire you to start doing that once I have a good smoke screen for why we're working together on E2705. I have spent most of my career, after being ousted from my home, playing nice with the Cygnus state, and doing everything I can to just be their perfect little worker bee. And I've built up quite a reputation for myself at being good at that. Rocking the boat isn't exactly something I can do. I work best by being the fly on the wall. So unfortunately, I don't have all the information about what's going to happen there. But I can tell you about the other people who will be there, because that's information I have access to.
Okay.
Sounds good.
We'd be open to hearing that for sure.
Sure, yeah.
Well, where do you want to start? Do you want to find out more about your prospective employers or the people you'll be competing against?
Well, I guess I'd like to begin with our prospective employers because I want to know how we can oppress upon them to win this contest.
All right. Well, first, there's me. I am Effoc Deseria. I am a former noble turned logistics expert at the heart of the Cygnus state. It will look a little suspicious if you don't play to me a little bit, but you don't have to try too hard. Remember, you already have my vote. But if you throw some things in here or there that seem to be playing to my wants and desires, it will make more sense why I eventually hire you later. Secondly, there is Opie Oriheart. He is the Apogee material and materiel representative at the recruitment opportunity. He represents a lot of the wants and desires of Apogee. In case you didn't know, what they provide are steel, heavy goods, arms, ships. They're very much a hardware corporation. I'm not well acquainted with some of these people personally, other than arguments I've had with them over long-range communications. So it might do you some good getting to know them a little bit more intimately than I've had to, if you want to get on the good side. Second is Doc Grosser. They are the representative of Lev Integrated Technologies. Lev, as you are aware, are representatives of the modified world. Nanotech, biotech, genetics, gene therapy. Gene treatments and adaptive mods are all the rage, and Lev is putting a strong hand forward on adapting our workforce to what they need to work on said planet. Third, there is Nosla Anchor. She is the Unfolding Moravec representative. Unfolding provides us with the various computing and software systems we're using as part of this project, custom-made inventory programs, and the various cooperative things we'll be using to kind of coordinate. I work most closely with Nosla because they are imperative to my logistics effort. And lastly is Grime RK. He is the local governor, and by sheer happenstance of being at the right place at the wrong time for the rest of us, he is on the council as well.
Well, concerning Grime RK, I actually did a little research prior to arriving here. And I've uncovered some interesting information that would be highly embarrassing to him if it were to get out.
That's a dangerous gun to play with. Used right, you can secure him easily. Used wrong, it could engender hostile relationships. I hope you know what you're doing playing with fire.
Yes, it's something we'll have to proceed carefully with. I don't intend to play that card unless I feel we have to.
Well, good luck. I won't deny you any benefit you can use. Ultimately, I care about results, and if you can get in and get one of these contracts, then we can continue on with the real work afterwards.
I look forward to it.
Any other questions?
What can you tell me about the nature of what we have to do?
Like I said, that is not entirely up to me. I know that there will be a review and debate amongst us about your qualifications. Whether or not any of us have worked with you before will probably come up, and whether or not we can vouch for your abilities.
What can you tell us about our competition?
Oh, I can get to that. I have already received various packages about the others. At contest, I'm sure there'll be some displays required of you. This will be an aptitude test as well. I'm sure we're going to put you through the ringer, so to speak, to prove which of you has the guts to do what needs to get done to make business flow smoothly, if you catch my drift.
Is there any of them that stand out as issues for us?
Honestly, it depends on who you get on the right and wrong foot with. They're all relatively antagonistic people. They don't even like who each other seems to have brought or vouched for. So in some ways, not having someone to vouch for you at the table is both a good and bad thing, because if any of them push for you too hard, it might make the others resent you. Honestly, I'm surprised any of these people are working together to begin with.
Do you have any influence yourself on the others?
Yes, I have about 1/5's worth of influence on them.
Fair enough.
I will put it straight for you. They look at me as a gopher, and ultimately I'm trying to keep it that way. If they think I'm non-threatening and just want to get the work done, they'll not push into my other interests.
That makes sense, yes. I understand the position you're in.
Is there anyone else here that we can trust if we need to talk to them about the greater goal, so to speak?
Amongst my people, only my attendants. You've met Evelene. Or not Evelene. You've met
Yes, I
Evelene's
have.
in this room. You've met Jolene, who's just outside this room.
So.
She is one of my trusted attendants. But at contest, I will be attending alone. With a security detail, of course, but you cannot trust them. In fact, don't speak openly around them. I would not recommend it.
If in some extraordinary circumstance we need to contact you or talk to you during the contest, is there any way we may do so? Or are we completely on our own?
In case of an emergency situation, we can make an exception, but you damn better well make sure it's necessary. Come up with some sort of signal we can pass one another to arrange a personal meeting.
Astro holds up his hands and says, I don't expect it to happen, but I like to have contingencies in place. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best, that sort of thing.
How about this? If we need to talk about an emergency situation, bring up the fact that you may have some information on Blue Cloud. Tell me you have some information on Blue Cloud that I might need to deal with before I quote-unquote make a decision. You'll have to make it come off as if you're using some sort of blackmail on me. I think it's probably going to be easiest to make the others at the table believe that I have some skeletons in the closet I need to deal with rather than something else.
Okay.
If you threaten me about something called blue clouds, I can make up a reason why I would have to talk to you in private, and I'm sure they won't press me too hard on it. But it will put me in a complicated position, so don't do that if we don't have to.
Understood.
In fact, it may make it harder for me to push for you at the end if the others think it's obvious you have me under your thumb.
Understood. It would be strictly a last resort measure that I don't expect we would need. But it's good to be prepared.
Yeah, fair enough. I appreciate the planning. Well, shall we get on to your, let's call them competitors, I suppose, keeping with the theme of things?
Yes. Eager to hear about them.
She goes, well, it will be you, the murder of crows, I suppose.
Pretty nifty name, huh?
She rolls her eyes. Additionally, there will be the Cane Vagrants. They are a group who works in the mid-rim, kind of going in and out, doing a lot of defending. I believe one of their sub-teams, Shep 7, will be participating specifically in contest.
Real quick, out of character, we've dealt with the Cane Vagrants before, right?
Yes, you have.
That's going to be an issue.
The Cane Vagrants are the people you cooperated with in Session 0 when you did your test game of Lancer.
That's right. And what's this subgroup?
Shep 7. Those are specifically the people who were on that convoy with you.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we sort of like from that mission, I think we kind of had like,
you have good relationship with that group.
Yeah. We're probably gonna hurt it with this job.
Okay, Astro will say, in the interest of full disclosure, we've had dealings with that Shep 7 directly before.
Well, that'll be a problem you'll have to solve then.
That's a you problem.
I'm sure we could figure something.
She pushes out their symbol. Like she's pulling them up on like little screen. She's turned her computer screen around from her desk so that you all can see it. You see like a little readout of Shep 7. And the Cane Vagrant symbol is a shepherd's crook with a bindle hanging from it. Then there is Prismalo. You see the symbol change to the symbol of an orb that has a metallic sheen to it that is all the colors of a Keller wheel, almost like they're projected upon a metallic orb. They are a little bit mysterious to me. I know they've worked with Lev before. It sounds like they are not above getting their hands real dirty, so to speak. I've heard they've taken care of some wet work before that has been sealed, but successful. So I haven't been able to look into what exactly they've done, just that they've gotten exemplary customer ratings.
All right, sounds like we're going to want to keep our eye on them.
Then there is the Dire Scholars. The symbol changes to that of a top hat that has eyes and vampire fangs on it. I believe they've worked with Apogee Material and Materiel before. They are kind of experts at suppression, let's say. Really good at getting people who rise up to sit down, so to speak. Then there is Share Seal. The symbol changes to that of a magnifying glass with some arcane geometry going on inside of the lens of the magnifying glass. This is a group that doesn't have any specific entanglements with the rest of the group, but has done a lot of mercenary work in prior corporate conflicts. They've gotten good recommendations from people on both sides of conflicts. I believe they are going to be one of the favorites going into this.
What's their name again?
Share Seal.
Okay.
It's SHERSEAL.
I have failed the spelling bee.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Thank you. As long as we get it close, I guess.
Next is Alabast. The symbol changes to that of a white sailing ship. Now, they are admittedly previously a pirate group, but for the past 2 years have been doing largely, let's call it reconnaissance work in the Outer Rim for some of the Inner Rim peoples. They previously were with a group of pirates of some sort that operates out there, but seems to have disavowed their membership there to come work for the corporations. Next is Dorf Elbost. The symbol changes to that of a pumpkin made out of ASCII art. These people seem to have a bit of an in with Unfolding Moravec. They are, they are. A lot of them seem to be very technically focused. And by technically focused, I would not want to leave a computer near them, is what I'm saying.
Huh. Are they like hackers of some sort, or?
I believe so. It's hard to say. I don't know a lot about them, but their leader is very hairy.
Like,
literally?
needs to shave?
Like, I didn't see his arms at first because his beard and hair went around him so much that when he reached out to try to shake my hands, it emerged from his beard.
Is he Chewbacca?
This I have to see.
Or like Cousin It?
Yes.
I was
some
thinking
sort
like
of hair
Hagrid.
monster.
And this led you to believe he works with computers.
No, his reputation working with Moravec leads me to believe that. I'm just telling you what he looks like.
All right.
I believe his name was Urist.
We got quite a crew here from what we've heard so far.
And your last competitor is Uncanny Ravine. The symbol changes to that of a marionette with a very creepily, oddly detailed face. Like, it looks like a marionette, but its face is so well detailed, it's creepy in the image.
Yeah.
They were brought in by our governor friend, Grime. It seems he's had some... I'm going to be honest, I feel like Grime owes them a favor, and they're cashing it in to take part in contest.
That's good to know. Okay.
Other than what I know here, there's not a whole lot more I have to tell you about the groups without them being things you might be able to work out yourselves talking to them. But I know a little. Is there anything else you need to know?
Which of these groups do you think will give us the most competition?
Well, Share Seal, like I said, it's probably the favorites.
Say they were the favorite. Yeah.
They have worked as PMCs for various corporations around the Inner Sphere, on multiple sides of conflicts. Always availing themselves well, always being very punctual and well promised, well delivered with their contracts. No hard feelings with the people they're working against often. In fact, there are no few times I believe they've taken part in a corporate conflict and then their opponents were impressed enough with their work, they hired them for the next conflict they were in. So their reputation does precede them coming into this.
That's scarily impressive.
Yeah,
all facts considered.
I'm trying to wrap my mind around what that means for us.
Why do we need to care? Sorry, that may have come off strange, but we need to be in the top 3, right?
Sure.
Yes, that's right. You only need to be in the top 3, and if we assume Share Seer will get through, that means you still have 2 positions up for grab. That shouldn't be a problem, right?
We'll just have to be better than the others.
Yeah.
And from what I hear from Ren, that shouldn't be a problem for you.
I look a little nervously at the others. The one heavy mission I went on, we didn't really, win? Sort of? So I'm just looking apprehensively at everyone and then back to her.
I'm just looking at Dyne and what have we gotten ourselves into?
Now, I will tell you going into this that from what I understand, this will be trying in terms of they really, like I said, they're all bringing their own people they kind of like to work with and some well-known names that have been pulled from here or there. Because of that, there's going to be a lot of arguing about oh, well, you got your guy in. Well, I want my guy, right? So the Dire Scholars being associated with AM2 almost helps them and hurts them because sure, they'll have Apogee's vote, but the others might resent that they're trying to get their person in, but the person they're trying to get in is being disregarded, right? So, in a way, I don't want to bring you in as kind of my pick because, again, that might put people on you, and you have my vote anyway. So I would recommend you just show up. We say this is another group that met the requirements, and I'm going to just pretend like I've never seen you before.
Makes sense to me.
We show up. Astro just waves at her.
Hey, you remember
it's me,
us?
Astro Jamin. I mean,
I've been in movies.
You are encouraged to do whatever you can to get in the good graces of the other 4, or hells, I don't care if it's good graces, as long as you convince them to vote for you when we're picking our final 3 in the end. Whatever you have to do to get them to sign off on you, I fully endorse. They are, from what I understand, the 3 corporate representatives are busy toiling away, arguing with each other about what the groups need to prove that they are deserving of the contract. They have told me to acquire for them some odd things. I am not privy to their discussion, but I will tell you I have procured no small amount of explosive ordnance, of drones, of shipping containers. I have no idea what they have planned, but I can only imagine it will be dumb. So good luck, I suppose.
Probably a mock battle or drill or something of that effect?
Very likely, if I had to guess. I don't know if they're going to have you compete directly with one another, or if they're going to have you do things and rate the performances. In fact, as far as I know, they might have you go on real missions for them and then evaluate whether or not you did the mission properly. I honestly can't tell you. I can tell you not to worry. It shouldn't be anything that takes too long, because I have submitted a request to have someone working for me within the next 3 weeks. So contests shouldn't take any longer than 3 weeks, because they know I have given them a timetable by which I need to be able to hire one of these 3 contractors. So they should at the very least be accepting to having those 3 people chosen by then. But anything within then, I am unsure.
Do you know if the contest is being held at T2705? E2705.
I believe that they have taken one of the bits of floating superstructure around the planet and have converted it into some sort of station-like apparatus where all the groups are meant to rendezvous and dock, and from what I understand, will be kind of our headquarters for the duration of Project Rebirth. I've been doing most of my work remotely for now. They have gone on ahead of me and have gotten things started there. I do my best work out here dealing with things, but I will have to show my face there from time to time, so I'll be finding out where my new office is new as well. I hope it isn't small.
I'll look around this office. I'll say, I can see why you wouldn't want to leave.
Well, I own this station. I don't own whatever headquarters they're setting up for Project Rebirth, but I'll give you some information right now about why you're here to begin with. There are odd happenings I'm starting to see show up in the accountings of what's happening with Project Rebirth. And whenever I raise questions about it, there is always a alibi for why things are the way they are. But they're never perfect. They're never quite right. In fact, I believe if I wasn't as good at my job as I am, I could have just written all those things down, all their explanations, all their delays, all their reallocations of personnel, and all the disappearances of shipments, and it would have all gone reasonably fine. In fact, I expect most auditors from the inner sphere wouldn't have caught it. But I am not simply good at my job, I'm one of the best, and I have started noticing a pattern. I want to follow that pattern to its source. There are enough oddities happening here already. I believe something big is happening.
So, once we win the contract, we can investigate those oddities for you.
Exactly. Once you have obtained one of the 3 contracts, I will hire you. Since you are one of our 3 contracted mercenary groups, there will be no suspicions for why I've chosen you. You pass the contest. I need people to work for me. They don't care about what happens in logistics. I make their problems go away, so they won't look into it too hard. But I will, quote-unquote, hire you, and then I can start having you go places that I can't go to see what's really happening.
Let me ask you this. The other 2 winners, do you anticipate them being a hindrance once we're hired, or do you think they will be mostly busy with whatever contract work they're dealing with?
I'm totally. It is just as likely as it is not. The others working on the project probably won't want me sniffing into whatever they're doing. So if they decide security is one of their top priorities and they want to assign some of these people to that kind of action, they may present a hindrance. But just as likely, they might want to tighten their grasp around the locals on the planet. I don't know if you've heard ahead of time, but there is a bit of civil unrest, I've heard. I've not been there myself, but it does sound dire. These people know how to punch down, so to speak. I would not be surprised if they plan on using some of these groups as armed suppressionaries.
Okay. Well, good to know. I guess we'll just have to see once that happens.
It is also possible that they may be on retainer, for all I know. When we talked and I raised the problem of hiring independent contractors with the other people on the council, they all seem to have all realized at the same time, oh yes, that is a thing we'll need to do. And they all assumed they'd just be able to hire their own people to do it because they're not used to working with each other. And once they realized what a problem it would be bringing all their own people into this when other people's on the council wouldn't be okay with working with those people, well, that's what turned everything into this big pony show that we're putting on now.
Quite a mess.
Yes.
We've got here.
I don't know why they decided on 3. I don't know why they decided on how many people could attend. I don't know why they made the requirements they did. But I do know you're just going to have to satisfy them because I need someone here I can trust to look into this.
All right. Well, we'll just have to play by their rules and win this contract for you.
Excellent. I don't suppose there are any other problems that we should take care of ahead of time?
The only thing that worries me, what I mentioned before, was the cane vagrants. If they can identify us, they might blow our cover. It's a DBC crew.
So don't let them blow your cover then.
Will we be interacting with the other teams outside of our mechs?
I suppose we're all going to the same HQ. We're all docking at the same port, and I assume they didn't make separate extravagant living quarters for all of you. I'm sorry to say, but I bet you all be put up in bunkhouses.
Well, then we're gonna have to talk to them beforehand. Perhaps we'll need to help them secure one of these contracts too.
Well, how closely did you work with them? Did you see them, their face? Do they know your mechs? I mean, you've changed them.
They may not know our mechs, but they'll know who we are.
Well, actually, they won't know who you are, Steve.
This is honestly Jeremy not remembering. Did we ever meet them in person?
I believe so.
Yes, you did.
Okay.
I guess I'm gonna have to be representative for them if we ever talk, huh?
Well, but it's like what Effoc was just saying. You know, if we're all on the same station, we're bunked together, chances are we may run into each other. They may recognize us.
I'm sorry, but I don't expect they're going to go out of their way to make separate living place, dining halls, lavatories for each and every one of you. At best, they think of you as disposable if you don't get the contract and slightly less disposable if you do.
I just figured we'd stay on our ship.
Yeah, I was about to say, can we just do that?
It's up to you.
Well,
remember, during this contest, you're going to have to meet and greet. You're going to have to talk with the council. You're going to have to make good showings. You're going to show that you can get the job done. Whatever you do to make that happen,
we're on good terms with Shep 7. I think probably our best course of action is to reach out to them directly and bring them into the fold somewhat. Obviously not tell them the entire reason and our connection to you, Effoc. But we could come up with a story that we're trying to start fresh, assume new identities. I'm sure they can understand.
Or consider this. Astro, you're already under an assumed identity. You're not Astro, you're Xander, or whatever your last name is.
Nova.
Sure. And the only other people who they would recognize is me and Dyne. I mean, what if we just assume personas for our spell? That way, I mean, less risk.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at earlier. Did they ever see your faces?
They did. What I'm saying is, I don't know. I mean, Astro's got the turtleneck thing going on. I mean, he's probably okay.
I think it's more
the turtleneck, the ultimate disguise,
to deceive them.
Evelene, do you think Astro doesn't look like Astro?
Evelene just kind of looks at Astro for a minute. Maybe lose the sunglasses, but we could pull it off.
He's not wearing sunglasses.
Oh, you aren't? Okay. Then yeah, no. I mean, maybe.
He's grown a little bit of a beard. And
you actually grew the beard.
Ditched the sunglasses, but I would say probably still does. He looks like him.
If one of his fans saw him walking by on the street, they might go, "Man, that guy looks kind of like Astro Jamin," instead of saying, "Hey, that guy's Astro Jamin."
Yeah, that
okay.
That's the way I imagine it too. I'd say, I just think if they do end up recognizing us, it could be more confusing if they see we're trying to hide our identities purposely from them.
Listen,
I guess so.
You can figure this out. There's going to be some time to get there. If you need to contact them, I don't care what you need to do, but this is something you're going to have to handle yourselves. I can't help you with it. Is there anything else that I can do here for you?
Well, just one last question. What if we killed the competition?
I don't know. I don't know what the requirements are going to be. I don't know what the competitions are. I imagine they're not going to want just a bunch of assassins, because if they wanted that, they would just hire assassins. We know assassins. We can get those. They want groups that can adapt, that can get things done, that can do jobs for them. And, maybe figuring this out is a good place to start. Remember, some of these people have ins with some of these corporations, and if they trace back who killed them to the wrong people, they'll hold that against you.
Yeah, that's a concern.
Like I said, I don't know exactly what the context will entail. Maybe they will make you fight like gladiators in an arena, but they're also not wasteful. Not too wasteful. As someone in my line of business, everyone looks wasteful to me, but they want to shore up the seams, so to speak. I don't imagine they're going to just having you all kill each other. We'll see, I guess.
Who's actually doing the planning of the contest? The other four members of the
the three corporate representatives.
I see. And
they have already
know.
gone there, and they have already built this headquarters. What's there? I don't know. I'm going to show up, go to my desk, and see what they have for me to work on.
I guess we'll be doing the same. Well, I can't think of anything else to ask. I think we'll just have to figure it out what we have to do once we get there. But our directives, as they stand with you, are quite clear.
Good. I understand that you're being thrown into the deep end without help, and I have a bit of empathy for that. But if you're on the level that Ren seems to think you are, you should be able to pull this off, and we can get some real work done that could help a lot of people and could help figure out why the corps are doing these things.
That's why we're here, and I think we've put ourselves in more risky positions than this, to be honest.
Well,
Good to hear.
Now you just jinxed us.
Seeing as you're still alive, I will assume that's a good thing. Just to review, you're new people. You don't know me. You've shown up to do the contest. Appeal to me a little bit, but don't go too hard on it. Remember, you already have my vote. Do your best to secure the votes of the other 4 people on the council. You only need to be in the top 3. You don't need to win. There's no extra prize for winning, unless they've decided there's an extra prize for winning. I don't know, actually.
Yeah.
But just get one of those contracts, and we'll leave this nonsense behind.
One final question I forgot about. When you say appeal to you a little bit, for appearance's sake, how should we appeal to you? What are your interests? What are you looking for?
I am a logistics expert. I care about things running smoothly. I want things to get to and from their destinations. I want them to be sorted properly. I don't want loose ends or loose hairs. I want things buttoned up, and I want them neat, and I want them clean, and I want them tidy. That is the person they're expecting to show up on their council. Appeal to that, and there should be no conflict of interest when I back you.
All right. Tidy. Tight ship. Got it. I'll look to the rest of the crew. Anyone else? Questions?
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Then I think we have our orders, as it were.
Excellent. I will be departing for E2705 tomorrow. You're welcome to depart at any time you wish. Just don't arrive at the same time I will be arriving there. The contest starts officially in 3 days. So just make sure you make it there before it gets started. It's just a few systems over. You should be able to make the trip in your ship in probably a day.
Sounds good. Well, I'll talk to my crew, but I see no reason to delay. It might be good for us to get early and see what we're dealing with.
Yes. In fact, if you leave now and get there before me, you might be able to scope out the competition before I arrive.
My thoughts exactly.
Feel free to fuel up, avail yourselves of any rest, relaxation, or resupply you need at our station, and I'll see you at the contest.
Very good.
And one last thing. Before you go, Astro. Nice pin.
I'll look at it and smile and say, a gift from Ren.
Know that while you wear it, other people who are Ren's associates will know you for a friend of ours.
Ooh. Like a secret handshake, kind of.
But just to confirm, we shouldn't expect that here?
I have not seen it. As far as I'm aware, I am the only operative of the dialectics who is stationed on this project.
Does Effoc have the pin on her?
You look and you realize as she puts her like hands up on the desk and like clasps her hands together, she wears the pin as a cufflink.
Ah, clever.
That's the first time we've heard that name, isn't it?
It is.
Okay.
Dialectic, was it?
Yeah, she said the dialectics.
All right, well, I'm sure you're busy with other matters. We'll leave you to it.
I am, in fact. Thank you for your meeting. It has been nice to make your acquaintance. And now, I will immediately pretend like I've never met you before.
I'm sorry. Who are you again?
So she smiles and laughs a little bit under her breath. Is like, odd that you've wandered in here. Please see my attendant at the door. She'll show you back to your ship.
I think we lost our way on your station. My apologies.
We were just here for the booze.
She stands up, walks over to the door, opens it for you to hold it open for you. And then, just as you're leaving, she just whispers, "Good luck." And then the door closes behind you. Jolene is waiting for you out in the hallway, and she smiles widely at all of you and goes, "I hope your meeting was productive. Do you need anything from the station, or should I just escort you back to your ship?"
I think we can head back to the ship. Probably want to fuel up and get an early start.
Understood. I have been told by Effoc that she is providing all of your fuel free of charge. So please feel free to top off before you depart.
Oh, very generous. Please discreetly pass our thanks to her, even though she doesn't know who we are. And I wink at her.
I'm sorry, I wouldn't know who to tell her said so.
I promise we'll be more discreet when we're on planet.
She
Astro likes to drive the joke into the ground.
Yeah, she will lead you back to the ship. It is a fairly confusing place to get around Station Real, but you are brought back across a few conveyances back to the ship. At this point, Curry was already hooking into the station to fuel up anyway. So he is surprised when it rings up to no charge at the end. It's just like, damn good service.
Compliments of the house.
When we get back on the DBC, the MOC now, when there's like a moment, like preferably if we're all like sitting there eating, can I go, "Oh yeah, by the way, Astro, the hell's the dialectic?"
Oh yeah.
Well,
your pin.
Yes, I did mention that Ren had brought me into their confidence earlier about a group, and this group is the dialectics. They help those who are downtrodden and extorted by the corporations by any means necessary. This would be our first real job with the dialectics.
They just Robin Hood it then, or
More or less.
Robin Hood it.
What does it mean to help them if they're not working with the core worlds to get financing to do it?
Well, in some ways they are, secretly working. They have people who have influence in the core worlds. Effoc is one of them. So it could mean any number of things. Ren didn't go into great detail, but it could be influencing policymaking, or it could be helping an uprising.
Do you know how big this group is?
I didn't inquire into all the details, but I have a sense that it is expansive. It's a network that has been carefully cultivated over the years, and means a great deal for us that Ren would see to it to trust us with this information.
Trust you guys, I guess. Been working with them for 7 or 8 years now. First I've heard of it.
You might have been the reason we were accepted into the fold.
Yeah, it could be the fact that you're on this crew in the first place that Ren felt finally truly comfortable. Ren told me because I'm the captain of this crew. But, by extension, this means that Ren trusts all of you as well.
Well, she trusts you guys. I mean, from my point of view, I just joined, right?
Well, it's like I was just saying, you've worked with Ren, Ren. Ren knows you. This could have been the tipping point, you joining our crew. This could have been the tipping point when Ren truly felt comfortable with bringing us into the fold. They've always trusted us. They trusted you. Us coming together on a crew, that might have just been, and our work we did in the Mentos system. I think we really proved ourselves.
I suppose. I like to know who I'm working for. I thought it was Ren, but
it
sounds
Ren.
like that's not the case. Well, Ren and these other people, this station owner here, and
when
else.
I talked out of character, when I talked to Ren before, did they make it seem like they were sort of a leader or the person that
they did
organized?
not indicate that they were a leader, but they did indicate that this mission is ostensibly for them. Like, if you successfully complete this mission, Ren is the one who will be paying you for it. Like, essentially, they are the one who commissioned you to do this mission for their ally, Effoc, right? So, like, technically, your employer is still Ren. They are the one holding the purse strings for this mission.
I'm sorry if I'm confusing that. I'm in character talking about it. So.
Oh yeah, no, I get it. I'm just trying to remember what Astro knows from
so
conversation.
This is mostly for Ast to let you know what Astro would know, which is it seems like Ren is the one imploring you to go on this mission for someone they like working with. In a very much like this person gets me good information. They have stumbled across something big. I think it could be related to the stuff I'm looking into. Go look into it for me as your next mission for me.
Yeah.
So it is still very much Ren being like, I'm your employer. We have a deal. Like, I'm kind of your sponsor here. Please go do this thing for me.
Yep. That's right. So Astro will say, well, don't misunderstand. This is not a mission for the dialectics. This is a mission for Ren. Ren was interested in what Effoc was investigating, and they think it could be related to what they're investigating. So this is a mission commissioned to us by Ren. It's just that Ren saw fit to bring us into the fold about the dialectics, and we already see that being a part of them, and he points to the pin, opens up some doors, perhaps. Gives us some connections.
I'll half smile and nod at you and go, all right, well, I trust you, and I do trust Ren. Just let me know if we're not working for, or even if we're working with someone else that I don't know about, which would include anyone in this dialectic group.
I don't even know anyone else in the dialectic group.
That's not a good sign, Astro.
It's the most true thing Astro has said.
Reading too much into this. It's more like Ren decided to bring us into the fold. We haven't been formally inducted into some sort of, grand ceremony.
I just mean for future jobs. You don't have to know him right now. I don't expect that of you.
I imagine this will lead to future jobs for the dialectics. And we can see about that then. But this is for Ren.
Actually, Steve, if you think about it, we're probably going to get paid twice. We're getting paid for Ren, and we're getting paid for this contest job if we can pull it off.
I don't know if we get paid. I think winning the contract is our reward.
Well, we get paid as part of the contract, right? I mean, it'd be suspicious
yes,
otherwise.
That's true. That's true, I imagine.
Like, why would anyone sign a contract where they're not getting paid?
At the very least, Effoc will want to pay us as to not, attract any attention. So it has to be business as usual.
Astro, do you plan on using that blackmail?
I think I do, but I'd like to understand more what we're dealing with. And it sounds like if Grime, what's his name? Grime RK, the governor guy, sounds like he might be in the pocket of one of the other mercenary groups.
Well,
out of character, maybe that's what the blackmail is about. I still haven't decided.
there's
TBD.
There's 4 other counselors, right?
Yes. Well, we only need his. I assume they all vote on 3, so he could vote for. I forget which group he seems to have an in with, but he could vote for that group. But as long as he also votes for us and the others vote for us, and we're in the top 3.
All I'm suggesting is that each one of us maybe get close to one of them if we have a chance to learn about them and suck up, so to speak. That way we each have time with each one of them and we're not bombarding them as a group.
That's a smart idea.
Yeah, worth a shot.
You get your blackmail, sucker, and the other 3 of us will buddy up with one of the others. Just try not to make it too obvious, or maybe one of us should also go talk to the station owner here. Maybe I'll have Jessica do that.
And what did we think about Shep 7? Do we make ourselves known to them?
I don't know him from Tom, Dick, or Harry, so this is all your guys' call.
I think we probably should. We could work together during the actual contest. Maybe we can make it mutually beneficial for both of us.
That means that it would have to be us, Chef 7, and this dwarf crew who get the top 3 spots, right? In order for this all to work out right?
Yes.
Which means we'd have to beat the Dire Scholars.
Trust me, you don't want to be on the wrong side of Sam.
So
he's one of those people whose reach is far greater than you would expect.
So when it comes to throwing someone under the bus, if it's between Chef 7 and the dwarves, we're going to have to throw Chef 7 under the bus.
If we throw them under the bus and they're mad, they know who we are, and they could just blow our cover, and that's even worse.
Well,
let's not burn bridges.
Do
with
we
them.
still have, like, Jeremy, like, out of character, do we still have, like, the resources from them? Like, from way back when? Or was that not carried over to the main game? I don't remember.
I mean, the resource was they think positively of you. You have a good reputation with them.
Just a good relationship.
Which carries over because that is just true of the fiction. In the fiction, you have a good reputation with them.
I think at best, Astro, we should call them, say, hey, we're going under these names. Please don't blow our cover, and don't try to extend it any further.
Or, if y'all are really good friends with them, why not have them talk to Ren for jobs?
I don't think we know them that well.
Our relationship is
terms with them.
Working,
if you need to throw them
but
under
not
the
much
bus,
more.
You can still give them some potential work to do.
Oh, I see. If it comes to that, sure, but I don't think we're getting ahead of ourselves talking about throwing them under the bus. We don't have to throw them under the bus. We just have to compete, do our thing. But I do think we give them a heads up and say, hey, we're trying to lay low, hold a couple jobs, and the corps are hot on our tail, so we're going by a different alias. And they'll understand that.
Just
hold some jobs, corpse are hot on our chair. We figured the best thing to do was get on a corp job right after that.
Brilliant.
It's a reset. It's a reset.
With 3 of half. It's literally half. There are 6 gigantic corporations in the Cygnus state, and 3 of them are working together on this project. You know what? That's where I want to go to get a job.
It's
hide in plain open sight, right?
I was just gonna say it's called hiding in plain sight.
When they ask why, you just say the big boss said so.
To be fair, it is literally the opposite 3 corporations from the ones who have problems with you. Because
that's true.
The other 3 corporations are Terratella, who hates you, Manticorp, who hates you, and Corsec, who hates you. Those are the other 3 of the big 6.
Yeah, it's true.
So, they ask why, and you're just like...
sense.
They ask why, and Astro's just like, well, these 3 don't hate us yet.
There you go.
We're working on it.
After this mission.
Who knows?
Look, I'm aiming for a 6 out of 6 in my negative reputations, okay?
Honestly, I like to imagine that we have like a chalkboard somewhere with all the corpses written down, and we have 3 of them crossed out, and we're looking for the other 3 next.
What's it called? A murder board?
Yes.
If you don't get that negative rep to 100%, you don't get the free perk that comes out of it.
Is the free perk an assassination squad? It's an assassination squad.
Sent after you. Yes, that's probably right. But hey, maybe they'll have good salvage when you beat them. Well,
that's all I got, though.
I think this is an excellent place to finish off this session. A bit of a short one, but that's okay, because trust me, we have some big things coming up. Contest. It's gonna be great. So we'll start next session with you guys arriving at contest, and you guys can figure out all these complex interpersonal problems while you're there.
Yay. It'll be fun.
No, it won't.
Bye, everyone.
Yep, good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.